Oh boy. I'm excited for this. Are you excited for this? 16 titles and 4 generations later, we've finally reached the, in my opinion, peak of the franchise. The storyline is far more fleshed out and features characters with more substance than we've been used to. The graphics make another leap in quality, featuring the best sprite work we'll ever see in the franchise. And to top it all off, some fun side content and new battle modes round out an incredible package. I'm excited to dive in and get the leg started, selecting our starter alongside our 2 friends, Bianca and Sharon. The Snivy I eventually named Mint is immediately put to the test in a battle against Bianca, who chooses Oshawott, and then Sharon, who's left with Tepig. Their starter choice reflects how seriously we should treat our companions turned rivals going forward. Mom comes in clutch and says she'll clean our freshly trashed room, sending us on our way. Oof. It turns out Bianca's dad is not on board with her heading out. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem for her later. Professor Juniper gives us the rundown and sends us on our way, officially starting the run at a level cap of 14. We only have access to Route 1, catching Duke the Lillipup before we move on to Accumula Town, birthplace of the Ferd Anthem. Regaling the town with their grand speech, Team Plasma urges trainers to release their Pokémon, citing ethics and morals. Read the room, man. They like captivity. Ignore my self-imposed rules about death. One trainer sticks around after the conglomeration leaves. Introducing himself as N, he claims to be able to understand our Pokémon and after talking to them, challenges us to a battle. Mint is able to defeat his Purloin and win us the battle. It seems he's aligned with the beliefs that Team Plasma hold, but Sharon and I beg to differ. Moving on, Mom surprises us with a pair of running shoes on Route 2, and we catch Scott the Patrat. I decide to give the newbie some training before we progress any further, and... oh. It's okay, Duke can... and he's dead. He's dead. Reduced to only our starter, and we don't even have a badge. Nice, 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 nice. Mint keeps the run alive and sees us to the end of the route in time for another battle with Bianca, except I didn't go back to heal. Starting to feel like Ash when he comes off the back of an epic run in Sinnoh, only to reset to idiot status in Unova. Mint's Vine Whip is packing extra heat thanks to Overgrow, and is enough to take Lillipup and Oshawott down for the win. Striaton City is just up ahead, and after healing this time, we have a battle with Sharon. Mint has enough of a level advantage that Tepig is no problem despite the matchup, and Purloin is easily handled. We need teammates. Now. Thankfully, the Dream Yard provides us a gift in the form of Crest the Panpour. And it's a good thing too. The first gym pits you against one of 3 leaders that uses the type to counter your starter. Mint and Crest work together to take the gym trainers on and then safely train to the cap before we battle the leader, Chili. Mint starts things off, trading with Lillipup and coming out on top. Nice crit! Chili's ace is Pansear, the fire counterpart to Crest. Thanks to the type matchup, Crest cleans Pansear up, securing our first badge and bumping our level cap up to 20. We're enlisted to help Fennel acquire some Dream Mist from Muna before we can move on. This sees us heading back to the Dream Yard, exploring with Bianca. We quickly find the source of what we need, but have to deal with Team Plasma. Despite their preaching earlier, it's clear that these guys are a bunch of shitters. Mint lays down the law on the 2 grunts and they're tricked into fleeing by a Musharna. We secure what we came for and get a Sea Gear in exchange, allowing us to finally move on. Sharon decides to see how we stack up against each other as badge holders, and I'm more than happy to oblige. Crest takes over to contend with Tepig, knocking it out with ease. Mint then returns to take Purloin out for the win. Team Plasma is immediately back with their bullshit, stealing a little kid's Pokemon. Before pursuing them, we grab our Route 3 encounter, Skyla the Pidove. Of all the early route birds to bird, this one birds the most. You know what I mean? Sharon and I corner the grunts in Wellspring Cave, and Mint takes the grunts Patrat out. Turns out they had reinforcements, so Sharon and I get into a double battle next. Mint is dropped low, so Crest takes over to win the battle. Team Plasma insists that they're doing the right thing by stealing Pokemon, but return it to us anyway. We grab our next friend, Komori the Woobat, in the cave before returning to Bianca and the kiddo. The new team additions then do a bunch of training and we move on to Nacrene City. The gym leader here has a rep for being a tough battle. Hopefully we can get past without issue. The team continues to power up to rise to the occasion, and Mint evolves into Servine. We then find our Pinwheel Forest encounter, Vascular the Timber. Look at those veins and tell me he isn't vascular. N challenges us to a battle again as we run into him in front of the gym. Komori takes Pidove down after surviving the crit quick attack, and Mint blows Timpole away with a Leaf Tornado. After growth, Leaf Tornado one-shots Timber. N reveals his goal of taming the legendary Zekrom before leaving us to get a tour of the museum portion of the gym. He says it isn't much, but that stone will be important later. We take the gym trainers on and are ready for our next gym battle in no time. Skyla starts the battle off against Herdier. Takedown hits like a truck, so Mint takes over, landing a crit Leaf Tornado to KO. Finally, Watchog is sent out. I pivot into Komori, expecting either Retaliate or Hypnosis, and we're put to sleep. Vascular then comes out and is also put to sleep. Cress is hit by Retaliate, so I'm forced back into Mint. Mint manages to apply Leech Seed before falling asleep, but we're not in a good position at all. Against all odds, Mint wakes up and is able to work through a Super Potion to take Watchog down. That first accuracy drop was essential. We were so cooked without it. The level cap increases to 23, just in time for us to contend with Team Plasma again. Looking to acquire something of great import to Team Plasma, the Grunts steal from the museum. We team up with Berg to scour the Pinwheel Forest, battling Grunts and trainers alike. Skyla evolves into Tranquil along the way, and we finally retrieve the stolen skull. Gorm, one of the 7 sages of Team Plasma, reiterates the team's aims to liberate all Pokémon before they leave. With no more distractions on the table, we make our way to Castelia City, taking the Sky Arrow Bridge to get there. The sense of scale of both the bridge and the city blew my mind back in the day. And the bridge was ideal for egg hatching too. With so much to see and do in the city, the team makes great strides in their training. Unfortunately for Komori, his time with us is cut short, losing his life in a dance battle with a Pansage. The grind continues without Komori, and we see the Charons beaten Berg before us. We don't get the chance to take our turn as we have Team Plasma to deal with once again. And this time, they've stolen a Pokemon from Bianca! Maybe her dad was onto something. At any rate, we can't let thievery go unpunished, so we take the Grunt out to get Bianca's Pokemon back. Getsus gives the gang a history lesson, and we debate the morality of using Pokemon again before Bianca gets her Munna back. Getsus is clearly a cut above the other sages. They've retreated again though, so we can get back to our gym challenge. We take the gym trainers out and quickly get our battle with Berg started. Skyla takes Whirlipede out with relative ease, and hands things off to Cress when Dwebble is sent out. Scald Oko's leaving just Levani. Skyla tanks Razor Leaf like a champ, and the two trade blows with Skyla coming out on top. The acquisition of Badge 3 raises our level cap to 27, and Bianca gives us a call, requesting a battle. She starts the battle with Herdier in the lead. Mint applies Leech Seed and then uses Growth before being chunked by a crit takedown. Leaf Tornado takes Herdier out right after. Munna is taken out by 2 Mega Drains, and Crest takes Pansear out with Scald. Bianca's evolved her Oshawott into Duat, but it obviously can't stand up to Mint and goes down to Mega Drain. Despite the loss, this journey is clearly helping her grow as an individual. We move on to the dusty Route 4 and catch Lowriders the Scraggy. Charon then squares off with us. Vascular immediately switches places with Skyla and Pidove is downed. Pansage quickly follows suit and Crest takes over to knock Pignite out. Vascular then re-enters the battle and defeats Liepard for the win. The team works their way towards the desert resort next, missing out on an encounter here, but catching Akmenra the Yamask in the nearby Relic Castle. Upon reaching Nimbasa City, we see Team Plasma up to no good for the millionth time. The Grunts are dispatched and the man we helped out gives us a bike. Bianca and I head to the musical theater together, an avenue for some optional side content, and Bianca's story comes to a head as her dad confronts her. Elisa, the next gym leader, who happens to be a model, helps Bianca's dad see the error in his thinking and sets Bianca on a course to truly figure out what she wants to get out of this journey, and life as a whole. Seeing that Bianca's safely on the right path, we head to Route 16, looking to pad out our reserves. There are some trainers to take on here, and Akmenra instantly dies to this officer's Herdier. Okay, that was entirely my fault. I might be washed, guys. In better news, we find and catch Wednesday the Gothita here, and then catch Mirio the Venipede in the Lost Lorn Forest. Our new additions get their EV sorted as we train, which leads to Mirio evolving into Whirlipede and Vascular into Girder. Girder immediately gets touch traded and evolves into Conkeldurr, giving us some well-needed firepower ahead of our next gym battle. Cress finally uses the Water Stone we got in Castelia and evolves into Simipour as well. Before challenging Elisa, we have another encounter with the mysterious N. On our Ferris wheel ride together, cute, he reveals that he leads Team Plasma as king. Unfortunately, this means that he and I are on opposing sides and must battle. Mint defeats his Sandile, and Crest defeats Darumaka and Scraggy. Crest keeps the pressure on, doing big damage to Sigilif before Wednesday takes over to end the battle, only reaffirming us in our goals, and challenges us to gather all the badges and take him on at the summit, the Pokémon League. We're quick to get back to it as we enter the Nimbasa gym and defeat the gym trainers and complete our training. Elisa is finally on the chopping block as we get our battle started. It's Wednesday versus Emolga number 1 to start, who immediately pivots with Volt Switch. Psyshock hits Emolga number 2 hard, who also uses Volt Switch. The back and forth really starts to whittle away at Wednesday, but Wednesday hangs tough and takes one of the Emolga out. Wednesday's final attack lands on Elisa's Zebstrika before Vascular takes to the field. Paralysis slows Vascular down a bit, but Dig eventually connects to take the ace down. Mint then fumbles the bag, forcing Mirio in to take Emolga out for the win. I knew this would be a hard-fought battle, but Badge 4 is in hand and the level cap increases to 31. With he and I both holding half of the league's badges, Charon challenges us to another battle. Skyla takes Liepard out to start and keeps going to defeat Pansage. Crest finishes Pignite off and takes Charon's own Tranquil out as well, ending the battle. Unova's champion Alder imparts words of wisdom on Charon, sensing that he seems a bit too rigid in his goals, and then tasks us with beating up some toddlers and their dogs. Charon still isn't convinced as we both cross the Driftvale Drawbridge, aka the Great Charizard Drawbridge. See, this is where the Charizard glazing began. Clay, the leader of the Driftvale Gym, isn't happy with us as some Team Plasma grunts he rounded up escaped as we lowered and crossed the bridge. It seems Team Plasma is holed up inside Driftvale's cold storage, and we managed to find them after slipping and sliding to the only open shipping container in the place. Mirio takes point as we make short work of the grunts, and Clay has them detained again, giving us permission to take him on in a gym battle. Getsis doesn't plan on letting a fellow Sage be taken into custody though. Not looking to start a huge conflict now, Clay has no choice but to let them walk. This sucks. I froze my butt off to catch them. Ah well. We get down to training, starting with a rotation battle against the Heartbreaker. Feeling a bit impatient, I don't complete our training and get things started with Clay. Krokorok slows Mint down with Bulldoze and inundates us with Swagger and Torment, preventing her from getting the KO. I pivot into Crest to finish it off, and Scald nearly Oko's Excadrill next. After Bulldoze and a Hyper Potion, Crest is forced to retreat. I double switch to Skyla and then Vascular, and Wake Up Slap crit Oko's the ace. Vascular keeps the pressure up, slapping the shit out of Palpitoad for the win. My lack of preparation made that scary, but Vascular rose to the occasion to secure us Badge 5 and a level cap increase to 35. Hopefully I learned my lesson and don't do that again. Before hitting the road again, Bianca challenges us to another battle. Mint chips away at and eventually beats Herdier, and Crest defeats Panseer. I taunt Musharna and then trade blows for the KO, and then send Mint back out to defeat Duat for the win. The team continues to grow as we work our way towards Chargestone Cave, and Clay clears the opening for us. Holy shit! And has ninjas on his team! And clues us in on Getsis' interest in what kind of trainer we'll become. He doesn't know it yet, but we're 16-time champions already. Can't wait to put them in their place. Bianca seems right at home assisting Professor Juniper. Maybe that's her calling. Chargestone Cave is filled to the brim with trainers, so the team can power up a great deal as we work our way through it. The ninjas jump scare us again and guide us towards their allies in the lower levels. As we take the grunts on, Mirio evolves into Scolipede. That's a big bug. Continuing to explore the cave, Skyla evolves into Unpheasant next. Right at the exit, N challenges us to another battle. Mint takes over for Skyla and applies Leech Seed to Boldore before boosting up with Growth. Mega Drain takes Boldore down shortly after. Joltik is taken out by Cut, and Pharaoh Seed is sent out. Vascular's Wake Up Slap does massive damage to take it out, and Clink follows suit for the win. Despite believing he's on the right side, N is frustrated that he continues to lose to us. He even goes as far as to talk down to Professor Juniper, but she's a really chill gal and isn't too bothered by it. Once he leaves, we head out too. Mistralton City is on the other side, and our next gym battle. Skyla, the gym leader, isn't ready to battle and directs us to the Celestial Tower. It's the perfect opportunity to get training started. Training is long but fruitful, and Wednesday evolves into Gothita as we ready up for badge number 6. Vascular is the one to lead in this battle. Sulvat's acrobatics does middling damage before Rock Slide connects and KOs. Our Skyla faces off with Skyla's own Unpheasant, avoiding its Razor Wind twice to KO with Fly. Skyla's ace is Swanna, who sets up Aqua Ring before I pivot into Wednesday. Wednesday's Charge Beam does big damage, and thanks to a special attack boost, KOs after a Hyper Potion is used to end the battle, and the level cap increases again to 39. And shares more details about his personal goals and reveals to us the existence of 2 special stones. As king, he's sure that he can awaken the legendary whose essence is contained inside. If he does, his plans are all but guaranteed successes. There are 2 stones though, so maybe... Anyway, eager to see how we stack up to each other, Charon challenges us to a battle again. I get Skyla to deal with Charon's Unpheasant, but air slash crits one too many times. Wednesday takes over and gets the KO after being dropped low. I pivot into Mirio and Oko Lipard with Mega Horn, then send Cress out to handle Pignite with Scald. Charon's last member is Simisage, who is also taken out by Mirio's Mega Horn. It turns out Alder was spectating the battle. Charon is proving to be too headstrong to understand that there's more to battles than winning. Don't tell Charon, but I secretly agree with him. He won't get his character development if he knows that though. We continue on our way once they leave, and Mint finally evolves into Superior as we explore Twist Mountain. Running into Clay again, he tells us that it seems Team Plasma's gone into hiding, but he and the other leaders have convened and plan on confronting them next time they make a move. I guess that means we don't need to worry about him anymore? Ah, who am I kidding? We're the hero in this journey. And there you go. We don't even make it out of the mountain before seeing them again. But they've found what they're looking for. This could be trouble. Our next gym battle is close as we enter Icera City. Taking on the gym trainer should be more than enough training with Vascular on the team as we get our battle with Bryson started. Vascular uses Bulk Up while Vanillish uses Acid Armor. Mirror Shot lowers our accuracy, but Wake Up Slap still connects for the KO. Wake Up Slap connects again to take Beartic out, leaving just Cryogonal to be slapped, ending the battle. Our level cap increases to 43, and we get into a little reunion with our 2 friends before the ninjas interrupt. We're to head to Dragon Spiral Tower. Bryson and Charon hold the front lines for us to advance, and we take out a horde of grunts ourselves to climb the tower to the top. And it's there that we see it. The legendary Zekrom has actually found N-Worthy and will help him realize his ideals. The only way forward is to awaken its counterpart, Reshiram. This endeavor sees us heading back to the Relic Castle. Team Plasma doesn't want to make it easy, saddling us with more grunts to knock aside. After going all that way, Getsus tells us the stone isn't even here. But we already knew that, didn't we? Yep, that innocuous little stone in Nakreen's museum is the light stone we need. Except we don't actually know how to awaken the dragon within. Fortunately for us, the final gym leader we need to face may have the answers we seek. Making our way there, Wednesday finally evolves into Gothitelle, joining the rest of the team in their final forms. And before we can enter the Tube Line Bridge, Bianca challenges us to one more battle. Vascular's Wake Up Slap eventually takes Stoutland out, and Wednesday defeats Musharna with Shadow Ball. Crest battles and beats Simisear with Surf, leaving Samurott to be defeated by Mint. The cracks in Getsus' facade are starting to show as he gets one step closer to his goals, but we remain determined to see things through and stop their plan. Now that we're in the city proper, we see Getsus continuing to spread the good word of Team Plasma before leaving. After speaking with Drayden and Iris, we still don't have the answer as to how to wake Reshiram up, but we do have a gym battle to get to. One grind later, and we finally challenge Drayden. The goal is for Crest to stack up a boost or 2 and use Blizzard to sweep. It's risky, but the plan pays dividends as Blizzard connects all 3 times to defeat Drayden and secure us Badge 8. The level cap increases to 50 ahead of our journey through Victory Road. Before we can get our trek started, Charon challenges us one last time. He wants to make sure we're capable of backing Alder up in case he falls to N. Cress's Blizzard is a one-shot on Unpheasant to start, and Mirio shrugs off Seed Bomb before defeating Simisage with Mega Horn. Charon's Embor falls to Cress's Surf, and Mirio uses Mega Horn again to take Lipard down for the win. With some words of encouragement from our friends, we make the trek through Victory Road and get ready to take on Unova's Elite Four. For the first time in the series, you can challenge the four in any order you choose. Keeping in mind my team's strengths and weaknesses, I challenge the fighting type user, Marshall, first. Wednesday leads in battle and works through the full restores to take Throw out with Psychic. Mian Xiao and Sok fall after dropping Wednesday low, and Conkeldurr meets the same fate before it can act, netting us the win. Up next is the Psychic user Caitlyn. Mirio leads and uses Megahorn to take out Reuniclus and Musharna. Sigilif is taken out by Wednesday, leaving Caitlyn's own Gothitelle. Wednesday hits hard with Shadow Ball, but I get Skyla to take over in case we roll low to finish the battle with Return. We're halfway there now. Vascular gets to lead in our battle against the Dark user Grimsley. Bulk Up bolsters our offense and defense, and Hammerarm takes Scrafty out to start. Liepard follows suit after peppering damage in, and Bisharp is taken out as well. Finally, I get Mint to make the save and defeat Crocodile for the win. The only Elite Four member left is the one I've been the most worried about battling, the Ghost-type trainer Chantal. Cress leads against the bulky Cofagrigus. I start by using Work Up, immediately using a Rossberry to cleanse the burn inflicted by Will-O-Wisp. With another Work Up, Surf one-shots. Jellicent is then taken out by a crit Shadow Claw. Golurk is taken out by a crit Surf, and Chandelure goes down to Surf as well. I guess I was worried for nothing. That, or that crit on Jellicent saved me a lot of headache. I'm thinking the latter. We used the now illuminated statue to descend to the next level of the Pokemon League, just in time to see that Alder was not strong enough to stop N. In order to have our climactic showdown in style, N plays his hand. Team Plasma's castle bursts through the grounds surrounding the league and latches itself on like a parasite. I gotta admit, that was cool as hell. We give chase but find 6 of the 7 sages standing in our way. Clay makes good on his word and the gym leaders show up to have my back. Gym leaders assisting against evil? In my Pokemon game? Unheard of. In our exploration of the castle, we meet N's attendants? While they see him as their lord, they don't seem entirely aligned with Team Plasma's objective. And then we see N's room. He played with his choo-choo train recently. Damn, that place is depressing. Also, a detail that I don't see enough people talking about, they had scientists hack into the PC system with the intention of mass releasing Pokemon. Ghetsis had every base covered, yo. Ushered forth by Ghetsis' grand words, we enter the throne room of N's castle. N calls for Zekrom, but by showing them the depths of our determination, Reshiram awakens from the Lightstone, waiting for us to do battle. And I do what I usually do. Chuck a Master Ball and box the sucker. We don't need you to defeat N, I think. Vascular leads against N Zekrom, using Bulk Up twice to power up. Bulldoze misses the mark, but our bolstered defense keeps us in the game. Bulldoze eventually takes the legend down, getting the hardest part of this battle over with. I pivot into Mirio when Klinklang is sent out and get the KO with Dig, barely hanging in there after that Hyper Beam. Mint takes over to defeat Caracosta with Giga Drain, and Crest takes Vanillux down with a work-up boosted set of Surfs. Surf connects again to take Zoroark and Archeops down, and the king is defeated. The real leader of Team Plasma has finally had enough and absolutely lays into my boy N. Of course Liberation was a facade. If no one has Pokemon, then no one can oppose Ghetsis as he rules the world. With our team quickly healed, Ghetsis challenges us to a battle. Mint and Cofagrigus trade poisons, and Mint applies Leech Seed before being felled. Damn, that's our starter gone. Can't afford to mourn her now, so I send Cress in to finish the job with Work Up and Surf. Bouffalon shrugs Surf off, and then Oko's Cress with Wild Charge. Uh-oh. Skyla's Return takes the bull down, and Bisharp is next in line. Vascular tanks Stone Edge and Hammerarm one-shots. Ghetsis' ace is the impossibly leveled Hydreigon. Dragon Pulse does massive damage, but Hammerarm connects immediately after to KO. Up next, Electros uses Acrobatics, taking Vascular out. Wednesday trades, but Crunch's defense drop forces me to switch. Mirio is able to finish Electros off with Megahorn, leaving just Seismitoad. Megahorn hits hard, but doesn't KO, and the Toad makes it rain. Our next Megahorn misses, and Muddy Water knocks Mirio out. It was only a matter of time before we missed. Skyla gets revenge with Return, defeating Getsis. He starts to crash out like no other before him and is escorted away by Alder and Sharon. En shares some words with us and asks us to make our dreams come true before heading out with Zekrom. And that's Pokémon Black. I knew going in that these games would be harder than the last few, but my performance was made all the worse by being careless a couple of times throughout. The team we ended up with fought valiantly to get us to the finish line, and the Snivy, Panpour, Pidove, Timber, Gothita, and Venipede lines have joined the ban list. Only 2 of our 6 finishing members are still alive. There's no way they can tackle any of the post-game challenges. Unless... After a lengthy grind up to 77, I walk into a special house in Undella Town. Sure, the only 2 surviving members of the team are Skyla and Wednesday, but I'm nothing if not optimistic. They've got this. Skyla starts the battle off by using Workup, while Spiritomb uses Double Team. Fly doesn't connect right away, but thanks to Roost, Skyla is able to stay in the game long enough to make it happen, taking Spiritomb out. What an absolute badass! Despite the burn, a +6 return is enough to OHKO Milotic, Garchomp, Electros, and Braviary. Lucario doesn't even have the decency to let Skyla get one more hit in, using extreme speed to take her out. Wednesday is all we have left, but Psychic is enough to 2-hit KO, ending the battle in a win. I have no words. I can't believe we managed that. See you again in Pokemon White next time.